By Decree 0418 of October 14 of 2021, the departmental government adopted restrictive measures for the circulation of motorcycles and all-terrain vehicles during October 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19 as part of the commemoration of the day of the race. The Secretary of Government, Kayan Howard, made a statement on the matter.
El 11 de octubre tuvimos
On October 11th, we had an extraordinary security council in which we looked at the actions or measures that were going to be taken for this holiday weekend, which is the celebration of Race Day, in which it was decided to make a restriction on the circulation of motorcycles from 1 a.m. until 5 a.m.
The departmental administration also establishes prohibitions on the use of pickup loudspeakers during this holiday weekend.
También se tomó la determinación.
We also took the decision to completely restrict the use of pickup loudspeakers, and we want to invite the entire community to celebrate while maintaining all the rules of coexistence and civic culture.
The official urged the community to comply with the measures established by the departmental government in order to ensure that the celebration of the day of the race passes without any public order issues.
La idea de estas medidas no son.
The idea of these measures is not to restrict the free development of the celebration, but to safeguard life, security, and public order in the department. We invite the whole community to celebrate with moderation, to refrain from crowds, caravans, and this type of acts, which will be controlled and restricted by the police.
Exceptions to the measure are official vehicles linked to the National Police, military forces, state security agencies, prosecutor's office, judicial agencies, emergency relief, assistance, and paramedics, as well as those of IMPEC, as long as they are in the exercise of their duties, who must have their credentials at hand.
In the Waldwin-Peterson-Bent Auditorium of the Departmental Government, the Minister of Science, Technology, and Innovation, Tito Jose Crisien, announced the opening of calls to seek benefits for the archipelago.
The Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation announced today the opening of the call for a proposal directed to the archipelago focused on bioeconomy, where applicants must develop projects focused on 3 themes: prevention of coastal erosion, creation of non-conventional energy sources, and attention to the improvement of basic sanitation with a focus on wastewater management.
Within the call for bioeconomy, we will allocate 10,000 million pesos for coastal erosion, non-conventional renewable energy, and water management. In these 3 areas, we will work together with the CODET, with the Departmental Committee of Innovation, to establish the terms of reference and develop projects that generate a high impact, especially towards economic recovery, employment generation, which is one of the priorities of President Ivan Duque.
For this call, interested entities may generate alliances with other entities that are actors of the national system of science, technology, and innovation that offer service from home in the archipelago.
The members of the Rizal Authority are outraged, stating that in no way will they lower their flag from the Cotton Key dock after a letter sent by the departmental government through the Secretariat of Tourism.
We will not lower the flag. In this way, the president of the Rizal Authority, Alberto Garden, said that the members of the authority are determined after the letter sent by the Secretariat of Tourism requesting the removal of the flag what represent them in Cotton Key Dock. The document reads as follows, I quote, "We request the Rizal Authority to remove any type of signate, flags, and allusive symbols not authorized by the departmental administration of all for a new beginning." On behalf of the group, the president of the Rizal Authority stated that it is an offense.
Just seem not to understand where this is going, and however, I think there's something on the bottom, and I will be glad. I'll be free for the feel great just for the people to come out openly and tell us what is in their heart. Why the problem for us in having a flag that represents us? Do we have the right to have a flag or a symbol that represents us? You know what someone said? That the way to, I would say, to colonize a people's mind is to demonize their culture and then their traditions. I'm asking myself if this is not what they want, what they're using terms to try for us to feel bad or to diminish us or demonize us for us to feel lower than others because of our cultural expressions.
Gordon assured that the Racial Authority will not lower its flags and that on the contrary, it will issue a demand.
Why it's going to be denounced? Because nobody, no constitution, no one ever is going to be able to tell me I don't have the right to be who I am. Nobody is going to tell me that I don't have the right to express my culture. In this country, which is a free country, a free expression, also the Constitution of 310 from that premises gives us all of these rights and God-given privilege to defend, to protect, and to express our cultural identity. How come dare you to tell me I can't hoist a flag? Because it's a threat against who?
The president of the Racial Authority emphasized that they will ignore the request by the Tourism Secretariat because the flag is a cultural expression and he feels it is a persecution against the people with the right to express their cultural identity.
And on the other hand, focusing on obtaining the Blue Flag certification on the island, the Secretariat of Tourism is making progress in cleaning and beautifying the beaches.
Blue Flag is an annual award that is certified by presenters of the National Commission, where the quality of bathing waters, information and environmental education, environmental management, and safety service and facilities are taken into account. In this sense, the departmental government works constantly through the Tourism Secretariat to make possible the Blue Flag certification for the Biosphere Reserve.
We've been working hard to position our department in the world scene as the main sun and beach destinations, and for that, we are working on obtaining the Blue Flag certification, an international certification that seeks the sustainability of the beaches and regulates the proper use of public goods such as our beaches.
It also calls on the island population to join this cause in the following way.
To support the processes that we have been advancing, the efforts to obtain this international award in that they appropriate and what our territory, and that each of these actions that we are advancing is for the benefit and tourism development of our department.
According to the head of the tourism office, progress has been notable and the efforts are progressing satisfactorily. In this sense, it is expected that this goal will soon be achieved.
The waste collection campaign continues in the Morgan Canyon that will be extended until today afternoon, where it is expected to collect such material to provide an appropriate use of and post-consume disposal.
The Punto Azul Corporation, together with the organization Teleislas and other entities, have developed post-consumer waste collection campaign for 3 days. These days have been carried out in the Morgan Canyon Plaza and in a neighborhood such as Red Ground. It is contemplated that the collected waste will be extracted from the island to avoid contamination and together with Teleislas to use them in transformation processes. In this campaign, plastic waste has been collected along with expired medicines. Collection activities have been developed on the coastline and underwater collection days.
We have been here in San Andres for 2 days. Yesterday we carried out the underwater collection day and the waste collection day on the beach, where we have collected approximately 120 kilos of waste in these 2 days. The truth, it is very important that you come and bring this waste because we will be here until today, until approximately 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So bring your expired medicines, bring all the waste you have in your homes, in your workplaces, so that we are all committed to the care of the environment and public health.
The importance of this waste collection line is the fact that in the short and long terms, they generate problems in the health of the islands and the environment, affecting the seafloor biosphere reserve. It is hoped that the solid and plastic waste collected will be reused in projects to make plastic lumbers and other supplies.
San Andres, due to its logistical difficulties and its coverage, is a little more complicated. Unlike other cities, we have annual workshops. We had a workshop in April, and this month we will have another one. And approximately in April or March of next year, we will have another workshop.
In previous days, with other governmental institutions, we have collected about 6 tons of waste, where other waste such as car tires, batteries, and other materials were collected. As part of the waste collection days, the island community has been invited to be careful with the disposal of waste such as expired medicines.
We are here this morning in Morgan Canyon participating in the post-consumer day. The idea is that the community has knowledge about the importance of delivering the expired medicines and not discard them with ordinary waste, as these medicines can bring serious consequences for both health and the environment. The community of the island is invited to keep in mind that in San Andres, in the drugstores, there are points where they can access and deposit these medicines already expired and used to improve the condition of the quality of life of the island.
The possession of weapons by minors continue to be a cause of concern on this island. In this regard, the National Police reported that the apprehension of an adolescent at the same time they called on the parents to take responsibility in the care of their children.
In recent days, the National Police apprehended a minor in the middle of a fight. According to the information released by the institution, the young man was carrying a firearm with which 2 people were injured, to which Colonel Maria Elena Gomez has expressed her concern and raises alarms about the presence of armed minors on the island. The case revealed by the Colonel highlights the possible modus operandi of criminal organizations that could eventually be using children and young people to commit their illegal acts.
This fight was generated as a result of a situation in which a minor was again involved. This young man was apprehended for using a firearm with which he caused an injury to one person and also affected another person by the bullet.
This particular fact is added to other similar ones during the last months, in which minors have been detected by the authorities apparently equipped to commit crimes. Given this scenario, the police commander in the department makes a strong appeal to parents to assume their fundamental role in a responsible manner to prevent the carrying of weapons by children and young people on the island.
We continue to insist to the parents about the responsibility they have over these minors and the great concern of this command that minors continue to carry firearms.
The truth is that the involvement of minors in this type of cases demands the construction of prompt, effective, and committed responses from all sectors. The government, society, and the family, in their respective spheres, must respond to the urgent requirements that guide the life project of children and adolescents on the island.
A few cases of COVID-19 continue here on the department. For this, we will give you a balance of the COVID.
The National Institute of Health in its daily report registered 6 new cases of COVID-19 in the archipelago, and there are already about 37 cases so far in October. Since the beginning of the current pandemic in San Andres, Old Providence, and Santa Catalina Islands, 6,908 positive cases have been reported, while 6,731 persons have been recovered. Guinehen, San Luis, Siribie, Barrio Obrero, and Schoolhouse are the most affected neighborhoods. The authorities also indicated that there have been no deaths due to this virus today in the islands. Data from the departmental government indicate that there are 14 active cases and there is a 0% occupancy rate of the intensive care unit. It is worth remembering that 85,329 doses have been applied in the insular department, of which 38,494 are second doses, which indicates that a vaccination rate of 87.5% has been achieved. Meanwhile, the situation in the rest of the country remains serious. Yesterday, 1,387 new cases were registered, and there are still about 13,641 active cases in the rest of the country.
And now let's learn about other facts that are news today in our briefings.
The Environmental Corporation Coralina announced that within the framework of the Great National Planting Campaign, the municipality of Old Providence joined the initiative with the planting of 550 trees, 300 mangroves, and 250 trees of dry, tropical, and fruit forest. The head of the tourism office, Jonathan Taylor, conducted an inspection of the wharf at the Cultural House in order to check up on the progress in the commitments agreed with tourism providers operating at the point. Among the commitments requested is to provide a better image of the sector, formalize the tourism services offered, and provide order, quality, and safety in the sector. The Child Protection Group of the National Police conducted on the island of Old Providence an activity to raise awareness among parents at the Honin School on the prevention of drug use and the risks of misuse of the internet.